Hi, I'm Kendall from the Very Human Collective, and I'm going to show you how anybody can draw, because we have this wonderful, beautiful thing happening called the Daily Art Walk, where we're saying to people, go for a walk every day as a daily self-regulation practice, and take photos, or we'll say grab something from the environment or from your walk and bring it home and draw it. And I'm noticing a lot of people are doing photographs, and then the comment I'm getting is, but I can't draw, but I can't draw, but I can't draw. Yes, you can. Anybody can draw. And it's just a matter of being shown some of the tricks of the drawing. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to show you how you can draw. And I have decided to use colored pencils because I actually really quite love them. That's something anybody has lying around the house, or if you don't, you could pick it up at the supermarket. All right, so you don't need fancy drawing materials, you don't need fancy schmancy things, you don't need special paper. I just have drawing paper here. I will give you one word of advice: do not use copy paper, like photocopy paper and your printing paper, because nothing ever turns out nice on that paper when it comes to drawing and art. You want a little bit of a grain to it, a little bit of a sort of a roughness. You can pick up drawing paper in your local supermarket, in the stationery section. You can pick it up in art stores. It doesn't have to be a grand quality brand, unless you want to be doing, exhibition worthy art pieces. You just need something with a bit of a tooth. Now I've picked up a leaf today. We're going to draw a leaf, and I have deliberately picked up a tricky leaf, because this would be the kind of leaf that most of us would walk past. We'd look for a flat leaf, wouldn't we? Or one with really clear patterns and clear colors. So I'm going to pick up this leaf, and I'm going to show you and introduce you to the wonderful world of artistic license. Because guess what? Nobody who ever looks at your final piece is holding the original leaf next to it and going, oh no, wait a minute, she didn't actually connect that, and that was actually folded. No, you don't show people what you drew. Rembrandt, incredible paintings. Do we know what the people actually looked like? No. We don't actually know what he did that was for real or for license. Now there's going to be some Rembrandt lover that's going to be on me about that, but I'm just making a point. Point being, do not be put off by tricky leaves. We're just going to make them our own, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so let us get to work. Here's a quick close-up look for you. Isn't it gorgeous? Okay, so let's get started. We're going to look at this leaf. It's a whole other art journey to be able to draw all these bits and to draw the edges and so on. It's also going to take hours. I'm going to put the shadows in and create workouts. That is not the purpose of this activity. The purpose of this activity is self-regulation and connecting with ourselves and the space that we're in at that moment, or our environment, or whatever. So we don't actually care about all that for the purpose of this activity. So I'm going to pick a color, a brownish color, why not? And I'm just going to start drawing the leaf. Now, like I said, nobody actually is going to look at this. So please do not limit yourself to try and recreate. Just let the leaf be an inspiration, really. And if anything, you should be thinking about, well, you shouldn't be thinking about anything. Just think about the leaf, have a bit of a rest from thinking. If you are thinking, just figure out what you're feeling, what's happening for you as you draw this. What are you enjoying? I often actually play music, to be honest. I'm not now because I'm showing this to you, but I do play music. So that's something to consider. It doesn't have to be a thing. Now, I've gone with a light thing. Can you see it sort of looks like the leaf? It doesn't really look like the leaf. We don't care. Start with a lighter tone. Now, the other thing that we can do in the world of artistic license is whatever colors we want. It doesn't matter. But there are a lot of colors in here. Can you see how it's got a purplish tone to it? There's a reddish. There's dark there, but it's almost like a dark blue in there as well. Over here, some purple. There's some orange. There's some reddish tones. There's a bit of yellow. If I'm really creative, I can see like a grey blue. I can see a wine kind of a color in there. I can see a lot of like a peachy color in this dark here. It's not just black or purple or whatever. I can really, really have fun with those colors. So I'm going to start with almost a flesh color actually, because Let's have flesh tone, one of the flesh tone. I'm going to go for not all of them in flesh tones. This is my flesh color, sorry, not everybody's flesh color. But I'm like, let me just draw in now. The one thing about a leaf is that it does have this kind of thing going on, right? So we don't want to draw this way and just color it in, and we don't want to make lines this way. We do want to sort of, every mark that we make does kind of follow the pattern of a leaf. So that part's important. If I cover all the white with this paper, I'm leaving no room for other colors to fill into the gaps and get like a motley feel, which is more true to a leaf, which is why I'm not covering every bit. I'm sort of leaving spots in the middle. I might come back and cover that. I might come back and regret that. Who knows? It's all part of the adventure. There's a turn here. I will be making more videos showing you how to make things look rounded, but really it's just round it. And sink it in. This one goes this way, it's sinking in a bit, right? So, and as I said, if we don't get it right, nobody will know. That's not the point of this exercise. This exercise is to regulate and to kind of have a bit of an artist date with ourselves, have some fun with ourselves. So, I can find actually on the darkest of days when I think I can't bear to cope with anything, I usually don't want to do this. I usually find all the procrastinating reasons why I don't do it and why I can't that day. But if I do force myself, it does regulate me. And that might be why I don't want to do it, because I get a bit self-harmy in those moments and I don't want to regulate myself. I kind of want myself to feel the pain. I don't know if anybody of you can relate to that. But this is an amazing exercise no matter what. So you see how I've just kind of covered it? Whatever. Now we said there was orange in there. So I am starting, you'll notice, with lighter and I'm building the darker. It's very hard to put dark on top of the light. Now the orange, but I think it's like an orangey brown. I have a lot of colors at my disposal because I actually do art with, I create artworks with these colored pencils. If you're interested, I'm going to cut in. These are professional colored pencils, Prismacolor. They are beautiful and dreamy. Yeah, so I have 132 colors at my disposal, which can be a good thing or a bad thing. Sometimes I limit myself. I have that here. I have a little box where I just pick a few colors and I force myself to use those. That's an interesting exercise as well. Now, this is a predominant color tone, and I think I'm getting it quite right. So I'm just going to scribble. Can you see that I'm not trying to mimic the leaf? I'm not sitting here going, oh, no, hang on, there's a line here and a dot there and a whatever. I'm letting the leaf inspire me to create my patterns and shapes. And scribbles, I mean, nature is not uniform, and in actual fact the beauty is in the chaos, isn't it? So don't be afraid of scribble. And this line, I find leaves have that line, I keep creating it and recreating it over and over again. Don't worry about going into the spaces where there isn't the color, because there actually is. This leaf was once probably all this color and then this is darkened, or vice versa, who knows. There'll be somebody out there who understands the science and the biology, botany behind that, and if you do, actually be really interested to know, let me know. So I'm just kind of scribbling. Can you see how? And I find I like to scribble all the areas and build, because it does build up. This will affect the tones. Now I'm doing a bit of a scribble here. You'll notice my lines are much more chaotic after I've just told you to keep the leaf line, because it's very bumpy in there and it's chaotic. So I'm kind of going, if I do this, it's going to look like bumps, a bit like skiing moguls. So that's my logic. I might disagree with myself in about 10 minutes from now, but we'll see. There are gaps in here and you could get very excited and you could like mark them out. I have done that before when I feel like being, some days I want to be less erratic than others in my drawing. So I would actually mark those out. Today I haven't. Today I'm just kind of like, yeah, whatever. See, I keep having to come back and do this line as I build up. So there's a layer and I've got 2 layers. Now you might think, oh, I didn't put enough of my underlayer. I want it darker, in which case you can come back in and kind of put that in. So clearly I did feel like that because I've come back in and I'm putting it in, but I felt like I was losing it. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but I want that color in there still. So I want it as an undertone. I'm putting some chaos here again. Bit of chaos. But can you see how I'm not like doing any high art here? It's just how it all works together. It's not really a skill. Like, I'm scribbling, people. I'm scribbling. So where is that one? So now there's a browny color and a darker orange. So will I be brave? This is kind of like a dolly color that I picked out that I thought, let me try. The other thing is, so I've tried that now and I've gone, oh no, that's too dark, right? Now, if I leave that there, that's a mistake and it's going to be odd, or it can be a defect in the leaf. What I've learned over the years is to just kind of scatter it about in a few other places, and then it looks intentional. And in time, it looks like it's balanced into the piece. And in time, I will kind of hide it a bit with other bits. But it's like if I put that color in, then it looks like that color belongs. And now all of a sudden, it doesn't look so horrifically out of place over there. But no, I reject that color. What about, it's more like a goldy orangey color, isn't it? I already used that one. Should we use bright orange? Why not? I'm feeling happy. Look at that. See? Artistic license. So I'm going to use some bright orange here. Oh, I quite like that, actually. I'm going to have him coming in with some dark in a bit, so I'm not going to be out of place too much with this orange. But I can actually go quite thick. I'm quite liking this. It's almost fire truckish. Not that fire trucks are orange, but you know what I mean. Maybe you don't. That's okay. Okay. There are gaps. So you see how there's like a section like that? So I can actually recreate that as a little section in the leaf. And then I can come back in and put my leafy shapes and stuff in my lines that I need. If you are more capable and you're already, you can work with shadow to create the folds in the leaf. I'm not doing that now. I'll teach you how to do that in another video, and that's if you wanted to spend a lot more time on this. As a self-regulation exercise, I usually don't try and do more than 20 minutes tops, because the purpose is to get myself regulated so that I can continue with my life, not to spend the whole day drawing. I do these exercises as a way, I'm picking up an orangey brown, by the way. I do these exercises as a way of being able to get back to work, back to study, back to motherhood, back to life, back to whatever it is that I'm needing to do with my day. If you're wanting to do this as an art piece, then there's a whole lot of other things you could spend a lot more time. And I will be making videos where I show you how techniques for how to achieve certain things, and you'll be able to put them all together and do beautiful, beautiful folds and winds and all sorts of stuff. But for now, we're just going to do this. I'm going to come up in here as well. I'm going to be park. I have this tendency to be chicken to go dark and to really push in, and then I always end up having to come back and rework it. So I'm trying to teach myself to just do it from the offset. But see how it gives much more leaf if I actually just go dark? I don't know why. That's like a, is that a fear thing? I don't know. I'm keen to see if any of you have any ideas or you do strange things like that yourself. It's getting quite leafy now. Now there's like a, I said there was a bluey colour in there, didn't I? I wonder if I can do that with mauve, or see, this box is beautiful. It just comes with all these different colours. But there is blue. I just don't have one out. You would find blue, and my friends are blues. You will have blue with whatever you buy at the grocery store. It'll be a blue. I just didn't have one out. So I'm going to put some blue because I think, and also my feelings want the blue. And that's the other thing when you're creating these things and you're going for your art walk. It doesn't have to be a clear representation. It can actually be your feelings and the colors that you want to bring in just because they're speaking to you. And the beautiful thing with art is we don't always have to know why it's speaking to us. I actually often find, you know how you go through life and hindsight speaks really loudly? I often find hindsight in my art. So I'll be doing a drawing because I need to self-regulate. And about 3 hours later, I'll look at the drawing and go, oh, I was really this, that, or the other at the time. Or, okay, and it'll give me like a caption of my day in a sense, or my state. I call it the state of the nation. But yeah, it doesn't have to make sense to me in the moment. In actual fact, it's better if it doesn't make sense to me in the moment, because then I'm accessing parts of me that I'm not understanding, which is possibly what's affecting my mood and why I'm dysregulated in the first place. Because I don't know about you, but unless I've had a clear trigger, I often don't really understand why I'm dysregulated. So by not trying to overthink it, we can sometimes just let what our mind sort of subconsciously, unconsciously, I don't know what the word is, some therapist can correct me on that one, can speak to us. See, I'm quite liking that. Can you see it's looking nothing like this leaf? I'm just using this leaf as a illustration. I actually, to be honest, stopped looking at this leaf. So that's another thing. Now I feel, so really do not feel attached to the leaf. Now I feel that I should put a little bit of green, only because I'm having a day where I'm feeling like I'm having a lot of growth, personal growth day. And I want to celebrate it today. Today's a good day for me. I want to celebrate it. And so I'm putting some green in my art. Is there green in the leaf? Nope. None. I want green in my leaf today. So I want to put it in. I actually want like a nice bright green. If you have pencils from the local grocery store, you're going to have like this kind of a green, and it's nice. Look how nice that is. No, I don't want to overdo the green because I'm going to lose. But I do want some green. So I'll put some greens. Where are my greens? Okay, maybe I'll put some green down here. I sounded like a whining cat, didn't I? Okay, there we go. It's coming, it's coming. Now, this section, these are dark, and that is what's making the leaf. So it's got like a purple tone and a reddy tone. If I go straight with purple, it's going to be very hard to layer with other colors. For some reason, purple just dominates. So I'm going to pick more of a winey tone. Now, as I said, I've got the luxury of these colors. So if you do too, oh, that's quite purpley. See, I expected it to be more winey. But if you've just got the local pencil crayons, you've got red, right? Come in with red. Because if you put red and then you add purple, you're going to end up with interesting things. So put in red. Now, it's getting quite chaotic and cluttered here. The leaf is quite smooth and lovely and graceful. Mine's not quite so smooth and graceful. However, I'm choosing, now you could spend time trying to make it smooth and graceful, or you could just be like me and just let it go and go, you know what? I had a cluttered night, and I've had a bit of a cluttered week. And I had a cluttered therapy session this week where I had a lot of emotion. So maybe this will represent that, because I've been thinking about that today. It's not a today thing, but I've definitely been thinking about it. So now there's these same patches over here, and we just want a bit of harmony and balance. So we're going to come in, right? And we're going to put there's some down here as well. There's little dots, there's little marks, little lines. This is just a standard red, nothing fancy, but just how pretty it is. But now I'm going to come with my purple. So let me find like a very standard purple, because that's what you'll have in your average box. I think that's a standard purple. It's called violet. What's the difference between that one and this one? Mûrière, mulberry. Which one do you? This is more what you get, isn't it? Let's do this. Yeah, look at that. I quite like that. Now you might be looking at this going, I don't like any of that. I wouldn't have made any of those choices. Good, because then you're going to be making it yours, and it's not mine. I can't do your leaf. I'm not you. I don't have your feelings. I don't have your story. I don't have your heart. So this is my leaf today. It's a bit of a messy version of that leaf, but it's kind of cool. And I'm just having fun. I know I'm babbling at you a lot, but I'm also having quite a bit of fun. If I was by myself, as I said, I would put music on and I would just get lost in all of this. It's almost like adult coloring, except you're creating, which I find more regulating than the coloring itself. Do you see what I did there? I'm not going to sit and draw every little thing there. So I just represented the chaos at the edge. Now you could do it in a zigzaggy kind of way. You could do it, I don't know, you might have a better way of doing that than what I thought of. I just make chaosy lines. I've learned not to fear chaosy lines, which is sort of like a metaphor for life. Learn not to fear your chaos. I don't think I've achieved that yet, but yeah, that's kind of nice. Now I've got purple on the outside and nothing on the inside, so I don't like that. That's just personal. So I'm going to come back in and balance it. I'm going to put some purple in there. I'm going to extend this. I'm going to put some purple spots. Oh, that was kind of nice. Look at that. Oh, that's kind of, that gives it a bit of shape, doesn't it? Gives it a bit of a run. It's getting a bit cluttered, but I quite like it. So it's speaking to me. Whether or not it speaks to you is another story. Now, there's a lot of little bits and pieces in there that you can come in. Something that's nice is to come in with something completely unexpected, or there are trials and tribulations. If you do have a light color, like a lilac, that's kind of quite nice to sort of pick up in a bit. But like right now, see how there's light bits in there as well. So we've got some dark bits, we haven't got the light bits. Pick up a yellow. Yellow can be your friend. Grab a yellow or any color of your choice. I'm going with yellow, and just Stick it in every now and then. With colored pencil, it does start saturating on the paper, so you might draw on somewhere and then the yellow doesn't actually work. Just then go next to it. Find the lighter spots. Remember how we left open areas in the beginning? So that we haven't always colored it solidly. And so that's given us space to come back in with things like a yellow and kind of go, oh, look at that. Huh. This is not what I expected when I started out at all, actually. The picture I had in my head looked very different to this, which is a common thing for me, and I think for a lot of people. The picture we have in our head versus what comes out on the page can be dramatically different. Doesn't mean it's wrong, not at all. And I think that's something to really let go of, because even when you're creating art professionally, even when you're making art like for the art purpose, rarely does it end up, and I mean looking exactly, unless you're Michelangelo himself, in which case I would still argue. Did anybody actually ask Michelangelo if the Sistine Chapel looked exactly like his head? I mean, he saw it in bits and pieces, or maybe he just was that genius. That's the point, isn't it? But don't be afraid of the difference. My therapist would say, be curious. Just be curious. Why did it take you that way? What is it about this drawing? Something I like to do later is come back at the drawing, sometimes right at the end of my day. I just want to catch a little bit of this. And I like to write. So you'll notice if you look at the blog, often we've got writing. A lot of us like to do that. Sometimes I'll write a poem, write a bit of piece, but sometimes I just like to just kind of write whatever words come to my mind as I look at the piece. I rarely do that in the moment. That's usually a come back much later thing. I feel like I need some blue. There's a blue one around here. Also, again, very standard blue. Just in here, it just feels like it needs some blue for its definition. Now you can make the lines that are in here. See how I sort of did that? There's possibly a few of you watching this going, huh? What? You're just scribbling, crazy woman. I am indeed. But there are lines. In my mind, there are lines. I'm going to leave it at that, actually, because otherwise you're going to sit here for hours watching me create. Let's take that away. Let's take this off. Let's look at it. That's a fun leaf. Does it look like this leaf? Not at all. Not even remotely, actually. Does it capture me today and what I'm feeling? Absolutely. I've got a lot of colors going on today. In my mind, in my body, in my thoughts, in my feelings. I actually do. So, and you know, it's revealing that to me too, because I probably wouldn't have said that to you going into this drawing. So that's good to know. I would have said today was a smooth sailing good day. And it's funny, as I come to do the art piece, I'm going, is it? Because there's bits in there. It's a bit chaotic. And it probably is actually. I'm possibly being a bit all over the place and feeling good because I'm all zappy. So that's something to do. So there you go. A drawing of a leaf for the daily art walk in a way that anybody can do this. This is not Michelangelo, but this is one heck of a lot of fun and beautiful regulation. I hope you travel well today. Have a good one. I realized it was far better to show it to you from this angle. So there's the leaf. Pretty cool, I think. It's definitely a representation of me today. I also have discovered as we've done it. Didn't know that going in. Does it look like this leaf? Not at all. Do I care? Not at all. Not the point of the exercise. And in actual fact, if I'd drawn this leaf, I probably would have just shown great craftsmanship, but a pretty ordinary leaf. Who wants to look at that? I want to look at this. So, and I want to look at whatever you guys get to create. So please show us, please send them in. Join the group. There's a private one, there's a public one. You can go through our blog, you can go through Facebook. There's various ways to get involved and start sending us and putting up and participating in the daily art walk. We'll see you in there. Bye-bye.